Hey, Tony Lambrea here from UTM Ultimate Training Munitions. Today's training tip is going to be on police ambush training. Talking about the ambushes, the very first drill that you could actually work on is shooting from the vehicles. Now, a lot of us have done this on the live range, but with UTM Ultimate Training Munitions, you could actually do this just about anywhere in an open field. So shooting on a 360, what we're talking about from here is you have your officer sitting in the car, and now you put all the windows down just to give them the ability to shoot. Now they're going to come out, again, don't laser their own leg, come over the top, fire out the window to the left. And you can have them go back to the holster, you call out, fire to the right. You have them change the angles. One time they're shooting forward, next time they're shooting back. So you just get them familiar with drawing from the holster, in a seated position, in the vehicle, and actually firing from that seated position. So that's the first stage of the ambush practice. So let's say it's a normal traffic stop, he gets out of the vehicle, even before he closes his door, and all of a sudden that guy bails out and starts throwing rounds at him. He's got decisions he has to make. Does he start to run towards the back part of the vehicle? If he's still got his door open, does he get back into the vehicle? There's all kinds of decisions tactically that he has to make. Now let's go to the next phase of this. So he didn't get ambushed here, and he starts to walk forward. As he walks forward, he gets into what we would call no man's land. Now if you notice, as he's here, he's between the two vehicles. So between the two vehicles is a decision to be made. Would you cross between the vehicles? Well, if the bad guy already got out, the driver got out, started firing, maybe you would. But what if it was the passenger that got out and started shooting at him? Now the passenger's out, he's shooting at him, engaging him. The last thing I would want to do is run between the vehicles, guy pins you, he drives back. So now you have to figure another direction to actually go. Next phase of this, he actually makes his approach. As he makes his approach, whatever your protocol is, you touch the vehicle and you approach on the driver's side. If you approach from the passenger side, and that's your technique, then you would go obviously all the way around the other side, and the exact same thing applies. Now, the ambush is initiated and the officer has to react from there. The last stage of this from here would be the passenger or the driver does nothing and he just hands him his driver's license. So just looking at it from the bad guy or the role player's position and what you're going to have them do. So I have Joe back in the patrol car. What I would do is I would give Anthony the cue before Joe left his patrol car. Anthony, getting out, and he would engage from here, boom, boom, put 2 rounds into the windshield. So the next thing we would do is we would wait for Joe to get in between, and as I said, as the stages. Now, role player, he can get out of the vehicle and he can start to be aggressive and move forward. Or what you do is you don't have him go past that part of the vehicle because you don't want him to get too close to the officer when you're doing gun battles, right? So he would actually get to this point, put a couple of rounds on the officer, and then brake for the front of his car and start to work around here. So this is going to start to create that dynamic where the officer is going to have to figure what he needs to do. Obviously the guy's firing, he's going behind the engine block and he's engaging from there. So in summary, you can actually work with inside the vehicle, shooting in all directions. In addition to shooting in all directions, you take them to just getting out of the vehicle, inside that no man's land, and then on the driver's side. In addition to that, you can actually go around to the passenger side if that's your approach method and do the exact same thing. You can have somebody on foot. It doesn't even have to be a traffic stop. If you want to simulate your ambushes, have somebody walking up from the backside of the patrol car while the officer's actually doing paperwork or something, or talking on the radio. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but this is a huge problem that we face, so we need to protect ourselves. And I think we need to start working on some of this type of training. My name is Tony Lambrea from UTM Ultimate Training Munitions, as real as it gets.